Have you guys noticed that if you mention Texas in any way, shape, or form, especially in a negative light, the MAGA conservatives, they go apeshit? Take, for example, this boycott Texas.
Oh, hey, Texas. We're going to be boycotting everything out of Texas. So here's what you do. Here's what we do to help support these fucking phenomenal people that just left Texas so that they could break quorum. Do you know that those Texas representatives are only making 600?
You want to fight alongside the Democrats against what Texas is doing? Do this. Please type Texas beef boycott into the comments.
Ladies and gentlemen, theys and gays, it's Ashley here, and I am asking you to please stand in solidarity with Texas Democrats and join the Texas.
So I just finished eating my chicken tacos because why? Because we're going to do a Texas beef boycott, okay? If you don't know about the Texas beef and how much revenue...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a hot take. Yes, today we are diving into a topic that is blowing up lately. People are actually calling for a boycott of Texas beef. Yeah, you heard that right. People are boycotting Texas beef. One of the most iconic things about Texas, people want to stop buying it. So what's going on? Guys, we are here reacting to this growing movement calling for a boycott of Texas beef, from the environmental concerns and political backlash to questions about ethical farming practices. There's a lot to unpack, and I'm giving you my honest reaction. Yeah, what sparked the boycott? Is it about climate change politics or something else? Do the arguments hold up, or is this just internet outrage? Whether you agree or disagree, let's open up the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. Like the video if you enjoy the reaction content. Subscribe for more commentary, breakdowns, and hot takes. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a big thing. Let's get into this. I'll be back.
You want to fight alongside the Democrats against what Texas is doing? Do this. Please type Texas beef boycott into the comment section. If the Texas Republicans want to go against the people will show them how we fight back. In 2022, beef revenue produced $15.5 billion for the state of Texas. And what many might not know is that the beef that comes from Texas is its largest share of the Texas agricultural revenue. Cattle sales in the state of Texas accounts for $3.88 billion to the Texas GDP. So if Texas wants to cheat, Texas should pay that price. And no matter what Texas does, the people are the ones who really hold the power. Your buying power is amazingly important. So let's show them just how impactful we can be. Work together, and it's gonna take everyone. So spread the word.
Oh, hey, Texas. We're going to be boycotting everything out of Texas. So here's what you do. Here's what we do to help support these fucking phenomenal people that just left Texas so that they could break quorum. Do you know that those Texas representatives are only making $600 a month? And we wonder why we can't get talented people. So they have full-time jobs, and yet they still serve. I mean, you can't make it by on $600 a month unless you're... No, nobody would take that job at $600 a month, because you would still need to go, even if you were independently wealthy, you'd need to be working on organizing your cash all day. You'd need to be managing your money all day, or doing charity work. These legislators are only making $7,200 a year. So they're leaving their full-time jobs to help provide a stable democracy, and we've got people that can't even leave their Netflix to get out in the street, to call, to scream, to yell. I can't believe, we've got like a national strike on the 9th or something like that. I can't believe that we're still shopping and going out to eat and buying things. I can't believe shit's still getting delivered from Amazon unless it's dog food. I did need a heating pad one afternoon, really bad. But I'm just saying, I digress. This is some crazy shit. This is about the craziest shit ever. That these people have left the state so that they could go save our democracy. And they've left their full-time jobs. They've left law practices. Some of them are nurses. Some of them are doctors. The people are not getting paid. They have left the state. And little Greg Abbott's down there whining like a little bitch that he can't get him coming back to work. Honey, he didn't have any jurisdiction over those people. And everybody from Missouri, if you lived in the Kansas City area like I did, all you knew is if you crimed in Missouri, you went over to Kansas and they can't come get you. If you crime in Kansas, you go over to Missouri and they can't come get you. I mean, we don't extradite people even from Missouri to Kansas. Kansas doesn't go pick up people in Missouri, and Missouri doesn't go pick up people in Kansas when the fucking city goes halfway down the middle. This is all stunts for Fox viewers. Fox viewers are like, well, they can't do that, can they? And then Greg Abbott comes and says, well, I'm going to put out an arrest warrant for everybody. I'm going to get on down here. Get on down here. We're going to rustle up some Democrats. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to go on Fox News and we're going to tell those ding-dongs who have no idea what's happening in the world that we are going to arrest all them damn Democrats. Because those damn Democrats. And then Greg Abbott goes on squealing like a pig, literally, wee, down there on Fox News with Hannity saying, well, Democrats have been gerrymandering. The fuck we have. There's just more of us. It's not that we've been gerrymandering. It's just there's more of us. They're like, well, there's, you know, Trump's going by last elections numbers. He's like, well, I got 40% of Massachusetts. So Massachusetts would have 40% Republicans in Congress. That's not how that works, dumbass. Because if that were the case, then y'all'd only have 28% of Congress. The rest would be independent, and 30-some-odd% would be Democrats. Because by now, the people that have changed their party from registered Republican to registered independent or registered Democrat is just constant. They are leaving your party. You are panicked, Greg Abbott. You are panicked, Texas. And it's going to be pancakes for dinner, eggs for dinner. We don't need beef. We haven't needed beef for a long time. I have been living with a vegetarian, and I'm just stunned at her unbelievable diet, how much healthier she is. We are pumping our kids and our bodies full of hormone-filled, and we wonder what's wrong with why our fellas are having such a hard time. They're eating they're eating estrogen every night in their steak, and it is a joke at this point. But I digress. Okay, so that's why we have the record amount of low testosterone men. That's why when we wonder how come there are so many guys on this platform that sound like adolescent girls, is because I was actually married to a man that had the testosterone of, and finally we found out about it, and he refused to do his shots. I say he was married. He refused to do his shots. Then he got implants, but then the implants ran out. These men are eating so much beef that if you do check their testosterone level, it is less than an adolescent prepubescent girl. I'm sure that teenage girls, or adolescent girls have a higher testosterone level than most of our men because they're out there consuming meat nonstop. Full of estrogen. So Texas, boycott Buc-ee's, because that's a mess. That's why Texas has the big huge mess they have with their power lines, because Greg Abbott did a little quid pro quo for the owner of Buc-ee's, don't you know? And that dude has a son, or one of those dudes has a son that was arrested in Travis County, as well as Travis County had that huge big arrest of all of those sneak traffickers. And lo and behold, I didn't see a single goddamn immigrant in that lineup. They were all Whitey McWhiterson from the YT committee, okay? They were all homegrowns, as we call them. But I digress. Yeah, those sweet angel people, I mean to say angels, angelic, are showing us how to do it, showing us how it's done. They are leaving their jobs, their children, their practices, their aging family. Imagine the elderly people that need help and care, especially now that I did the big video yesterday about how Medicaid is kicking everyone out. And if you don't think that these nursing homes are going to close, that our elderly care centers are going to close, yeah, bullshit. Because the only way they stay open is because of Medicaid funding. That's the only way they stay open. We tried to tell all the red voters in the rural Midwest that they were going to lose all their health care, like in the state of Missouri, like it is an OBGYN desert in the state of Missouri. They're like, oh, pro-life, save the babies. You dumbasses. That was never about saving a baby. That was about putting more people on the factory floor. That was about selling enough car seats. Do you know how much the AB laws cut into the CEO profit? Because right before, I know I'm on 14 different subjects right now, sorry about that, but right before they did the whole big pro-life campaign and shut down everything, the Congressional Budget Committee found that the abortion laws were cutting into the CEO salary because it was taking away like $6.9 trillion a year. Because you know you got to buy a new car seat every time you get in a fender bender. You know those car seats aren't going, the stroller prices just went up $100 each. Now, this isn't getting better. Nothing's getting better because the Republicans have taken the biggest power grab ever. They're taking our grandmas and throwing them in the street. They're taking the mentally ill and throwing them in jail. And for those that are disabled or trying to, they're bitching because nobody's going to Las Vegas. Las Vegas tourism's down like 11% in the month of June. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah, we also have the highest number of non-payments for credit cards right now. More people in this country are 90 days late than we were during the pandemic. Thanks, Donald Trump. Thanks, Republican Party. Go fight win.
Ladies and gentlemen, theys and gays, it's Ashley here, and I am asking you to please stand in solidarity with Texas Democrats and join the Texas beef boycott. Why are we doing this? Well, we know that boycotts work, and we also know that, unfortunately, the Republicans and fascists only speak one language, and that is money. So, what I want you to do, go to my video right down here, and I want you to comment Texas beef boycott. I also want you to go to the search bar up here and search Texas beef boycott. And please, if you feel so inclined, make a video of your own for the Texas beef boycott. Last but certainly not least, boycott eating beef. Be very intentional about where you purchase your groceries from. You know, we kind of, kicked Target in the gonads when they tried to pull some BS with us, and they messed around and found out, and they lost a lot of money and came with their tail between their legs saying sorry. Was it enough to get them to, reverse course? No, but it got their attention, and we need to use the power of our wallets to save democracy and to fight fascism. So, if you are all for supporting some badass Democrats who are actually doing something, thank God. This is a really easy ask that you can do. It'll only take you likely less than 5 minutes of your time. All right, stay cool. I'll see you later.
So I just finished eating my chicken tacos because why? Because we're going to do a Texas beef boycott, okay? If you don't know about the Texas beef and how much revenue they generate from their beef, go look it up. Get in that search bar and check it out. But here's the thing. If those people want to act up and do stuff they're not supposed to, let's hit them where it hurts. Let's hit them in their wallets. So let's support the Texas Democrats. And if you're in a blue state, get ready, buckle up because it's coming. But support this initiative. Go ahead and type it in the comments. Texas beef boycott. Okay? To me, this is one of the biggest messages we can send, okay? You don't have to get out there and do all kinds of things and risk, your safety and your health and all of that. But if we can really get to them where it matters most, that's what we need to do. So go ahead and eat that chicken, okay? Go ahead and eat that chicken.
Yeah, guys, before we go deeper, so this all started with the wave of online posts and commentary that began circulating a few weeks ago. A mix of environmental activists, political commentators, and even a few celebrities have been speaking out against the beef industry, specifically in Texas. Now, Texas is the top beef producing state in the United States. So this isn't just about food preferences. It's about politics, environment, and economics. But the real question is, why now? Why are people suddenly boycotting beef from Texas? Guys, let's get into this. I'll be back.
Have you guys noticed that if you mention Texas in any way, shape, or form, especially in a negative light, the MAGA conservatives, they go apeshit? Take, for example, this Boycott Texas beef campaign going on. These mother truckers are crushing the truck out. You should go check out some of these comments. They are funny. Hilarious.
This is my Texas beef boycott video. I always known that you should really buy meat locally anyway, so we should already be buying meat locally because the planet is literally burning up, so we should not be anybody outside of Texas should not be eating Texas beef anyway. So easy for me to do. I like to buy my meat locally anyway, so I'll start hitting the meat stores around here and find out where the meat is from. So that's the first step, find out where your meat is from, and we should all be already buying our meat locally.
So I just got word that we're gonna boycott Texas beef. So just letting y'all know, don't buy Texas beef if you're on the blue side or if you're on the side of democracy, to fight them back with what they're doing with the redistricting and calling for the civil arrest of the Democrats who really want to make sure that their constituents don't have, the will of the red side and of Trump, because Trump is trying to stay in office, okay? They're going to try to figure out a way. This Project 2025 plan has been Project 1950 plan. I mean, literally. So just letting y'all know if you didn't know.
Now, before I get into this, resistance is a life change within your limits. So very quick bullet points will include the fact that we will be withholding money from the government through withholding money through their lobbyists. We have to remember that a lot of commercial farms closing, a lot of lobbyist organizations closing, that would mean that the demographic they primarily hire will be out of business. They will be out of job. They will be out of work. They will be adding to unemployment. And in most cases, that is people of color. Now, I will remind you that gerrymandering will not only remove jobs, but it will also disenfranchise people entirely, making not only them unemployed, but their votes unheard entirely. Very simple fix. If you own a smaller business, if you own a local farm, if you own anything of the sort, you will hire your local employees. You will hire people local. As long as businesses hire local, people losing their jobs will not be a big deal. Through boycotting the beef industry in Texas. If you are below poverty line, we understand that you are in a mode of survival. You cannot do it. If you cannot give up beef, if you cannot boycott, if you have to eat it, we understand that you need to pour into your community, which means you need to support, regardless, your farmers market, your local farmers, and your local butcher. They will not have the funds, the means, or the resources to give to large lobbyists or commercial farms. And for everyone else, you're going to be stingy with your money. I'm going to explain the rest of this. Let's get into the video. Let's get into the finer details of this because I've had a lot of people ask questions, and let's get into this. First off, gerrymandering would affect the people of Texas by removing their individualistic representation of their district. Your representative, the person who represents your district, is based off of how many people in your house vote red, vote blue, vote independent. All of that combines together to give you a district representative, right? Mine for my district would be Debbie Weiserman Schultz. For your district, it might be Jasmine Crockett. Now, I saw a lot of people also say things like, this is going to harm a lot of Texans, this is going to harm a lot of farmers. This is where I would like to also remind everyone that you are attacking the lobbying companies that are funding and backing the individuals who are pushing to gerrymander Texas. The thing about resistance work and the thing about protesting is that it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of research. You have to specifically look at the politicians in your state who are pushing for gerrymandering, right? You're going to look at the people who are pushing for gerrymandering. You're going to look at their campaigns. Who gave money to their campaigns? Who did they accept money from? Who did they give money towards? All of that together is public information. Why? Because they are a public servant. All of that together would be public information. Not only will you find the people who donated to their campaigns, but you will also find the people who run the super PAC. Now, with all that information together, we all realize that Texas provides the United States of America with about 15% of their beef. We also found out that Texas does a lot of lobbying, same amount as the energy companies do, along with several other industries. Now, being that we saw how this could work for Target, I think that it's a good thing that we try this on Texas. How will this affect the people of color in Texas? How will this affect the citizens of Texas? Well, first and foremost, ideally, just like what's happening with Target, you can look at Target as like a grand scale of things. But if you shorten it down and you shorten the timeline, you can go ahead and see how quickly this would happen. So with Target, they had to close some locations. It would be like stores like Tyson. I know that Tyson Chicken also is a part of one of the largest lobbying groups for Texas, considered as part of the larger meat industry lobbying group. They will probably have to close down some locations if they hire primarily people of color if they didn't roll back DEI. If they did roll back DEI, depending on which, most of their employees will be fired. Again, people are saying this will affect the farmers. Again, as I mentioned, you will just buy local. You support local butchers. You will support local farmers. You will go to farmers markets. Because you can look at the owner in the eye and ask them, hey, are you supporting this thing? As opposed to supporting commercial farms who already don't give a fuck about you. They go with government regulations that allow them to poison you half the time. Are you for real? Local farmers who are sitting there and going into debt over their farm will not have excess funds, excess money, excess resources to give to large lobbying organizations and or politicians and or commercial farms. They just won't have the funds. They won't have the resources. They won't have the access, which is why you need to be worrying about supporting local farmers, supporting local businesses, supporting local butchers, supporting local farmers markets. I mentioned it in other comments because people have also mentioned, what if I'm at poverty line? What if I'm below poverty line? If you are, we understand that this is a way of life for you. Literally have no choice but to do this, as you are living in a mode of survival, as a majority of Americans are. As 77% of Americans are literally $400 emergency away, $400 emergency away from declaring bankruptcy. You know what I mean? We understand for most people that is not a reality. They cannot resist like that. We also realize that for other people, they decide, listen, I can't give up eating meat. I can't give up eating beef. I have to buy beef. We hope that you don't buy from commercial companies. We hope you buy from local butchers, local farmers. You know them. They're down the street. You can say hi to the cow, bro. They're right there. Because the issue is that the government sees you pouring into your community, regardless of government aid, regardless of government intervention. They see that as a threat. You have to be aware of that. I'm begging you to be aware of that. I'm begging you to be aware of that. You have to be aware of that. You have to support and hold up your community, because all you have right now is your community to fall back on. What you're also going to do is you're going to tell the grocery stores when they're like, oh, we have an influx. When the news comes out inevitably during these protests, it's financial resistance of you just holding your dollar. You don't got to give no money. Hold your dollar. Be stingy with that dollar, right? The news is eventually going to come out that the meat is spoiling on the shelves. What you're going to do then, you're going to call your local religious organizations, your churches, your mosque, your cathedrals, your temples, your synagogues. You're going to call them and you're going to say, hey, the grocery store has excess food. How about you get in contact with the government and or the grocery stores and getting that food? That way the food banks have extra food to give when we do hot food days. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Make the community self-reliant. You got to start community organizing. Make the community self-reliant. No one can help us with that. That is an us thing. That is an us thing. Resistance is a life change within your limits.
Yeah, guys, there may be so many reasons that could be thrown for this boycott. And we can also talk about climate change. Cattle ranching is known to contribute significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, mostly methane. That's not new, but what's got people riled up is that Texas continues to push back against federal environmental regulations. Some folks argue that the state's policies are enabling large-scale ranching operations that are environmentally damaging. Yeah? So there is also concern about deforestation and overuse of water in drought-prone areas. So for the eco-conscious crowd, the message is, if Texas won't regulate its beef industry, maybe consumers should. And let's talk about political backlash. That is actually maybe the main reason, as according to how these speakers have spoken. Yeah, some of the boycott talk isn't even about beef itself. It's a reaction to recent legislation passed in Texas that's being criticized as harmful. Yes, so the boycott isn't just about cows. It's not about cows. It's about sending an economic message to the state government. The idea is, hit him where it hurts the wallet. Yeah, hit him where it hurts the wallet. And you know what's going on between the Republicans and also the Democrats. Yeah, so I heard that these people, they raise the prices of the meat so that they can use the money for political lobbying, something like that. But this raises a real debate. Is it fair to punish ranchers and workers over political decisions made at the state level? Guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about that. And there are also counter arguments. Of course, not everyone is on board with the boycott. In fact, there's been a big pushback from Texas beef producers and even some moderate voices on both sides. A lot of people argue that boycott hurts small local ranchers more than the big corporations. Yes, yeah, not all Texas beef is from the Texas Beef Company. We have the small local ranchers, and the boycotts will hurt the small local ranchers more than the big corporations. So beef production is not limited to Texas, it's a national issue. Political disagreements shouldn't spill over into food choices. And let's be honest, for many people, beef is a huge part of their culture, tradition, and economy. This isn't a black and white issue. So here's my take. Personally, I think this shows how interconnected everything is now. Food, politics, environment, identity. Yeah, boycotts can be powerful tools for change, but they can also have unintended consequences. It's important to stay informed, question motives, and always ask who is really being affected. Yeah, guys, I don't think there is a right or wrong answer here, but I do think conversations like these are very much important. All right, guys, that's my reaction and commentary on the Texas beef boycott. I want to hear what you think. Are the reasons valid? Will you personally boycott beef for any of these causes, or is this all just internet drama that will blow over? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you found it insightful, and don't forget to subscribe for more honest takes just like this. Guys, all the credit belongs to the original creators of this video, and also this video is meant for educational purposes and also commentary purposes as well. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace be with you.